Hi, Jan here again. Just a very quick catch up and what I picked up at the boot sales over the weekend. That's Echo come to join us. I didn't pick up very much this weekend at all, but I need to get the video done and out of the way so that I can just get on with other things and put all this stuff away. Are you going to say hello to the camera, Echo? Echo, are you going to... No, she's not going to look at you. Look, what's all this? What's up here? No, she's not going to... You're not going to play nice, are you? Yeah, I thought I'd grab the opportunity while she was asleep in bed, but she's moved, and any second now Neil's going to come in and disturb her, but never mind. So, just 2 boot sales over the weekend. It had been raining at the end of last week, so we were worried that there wouldn't be any boot sales at all, and then Sunday was the very last one at Poynings for the season. That's not on again until just after the spring equinox. But anyway, what I picked up this week, first of all I picked up, without the loo roll in it, one of these storage and loo roll holders, which are about £15. I think it's a Tesco's one, it's still got the label on. They're about £15 in Tesco's, and I was just trying to work out this morning why somebody would spend £15 on it and then sell it at boot sale seemingly unused. And I suddenly thought perhaps it's because they've bought these double length toilet rolls and it wouldn't fit the double length ones, because I've started buying them, but it actually fits them perfectly well. So in case you're interested and you're buying the double length ones, yes, they do fit into a toilet roll thing. So that was £1. Useful little item there. I also picked up, I think there's one missing, it's a little set of measuring cups. I've got the 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup and the 1 cup size, which I thought my son could have for his house, because it's sort of thing that it's not until you go to look for it you even think to buy. But we use a 1 cup size one in the dog's kibble, but we usually use a plastic one and they do break after a while, so I might keep these and just use that 1 cup size one in the dog's kibble, but we'll see. I think they're about 50p to £1, not an awful lot. But from the same people I also picked up some of these over the door hooks, and these are, I just bought a pair of these a couple of weeks ago in Wix on their cheap table, and they were selling them at £3 for the pair, so to pay £1 for the pair was good, and they look brand new. Not that you can tell with these sort of things if they've been used or not, if it's not bent. So a couple of those, whether we use them or if I give them to my son, they're always really handy, I find. Used to be when that you'd put one of those plastic hooks on the back of the bedroom door for your dressing gowns and things, but they tend not to stick very well, whereas one of those is absolutely ideal, and doesn't matter how big and thick your dressing gown is, it's not going to fall off if it's got one of those. So I'm a big fan of those myself. All through the summer I was picking up loads and loads of Pyrex casserole dishes, and I just saw this little one. It's enough for kind of 2-portion casserole or shepherd's pie or something. So very useful size, and as I've said before, I make them up, cover them in cling film, pop them in the freezer. That one was £1, and I've got a feeling that quite a few of mine will be moving over to the new house when my son moves in. You know, I'll probably make up some different casseroles and things for him and just send them over, and if they come back, they won't be coming back any time quickly, so I thought if I've got loads of spare ones then I can afford to send them over and they'll be fine. Another thing, as you know, I've been picking up a lot of is teapots, and I've been really good all day Saturday, and because I thought I really don't want to get any more until I've started selling them through, and I'm not even listing at the moment, so chance of selling any without listing are 0. But I spied this one. I already have this in the larger size, that's the little 2-cup size, and this is a Typhoon. But a pretty little teapot. And had she said it was any more than 50p, I would have happily walked away from it, but she said 50p, so I had no choice, I had to get it. It's lovely and clean inside. I don't know that it's ever been used actually. You can normally tell by the spout. And oh, the other thing with this one, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, if you'll be able to see, on the inside of the spout there, it's one of those where the porcelain goes right across the bottom of the spout to stop tea bags getting caught in the spout, or large leaves. But there'd have to be really big tea leaves to get caught up on that. But I'm not a great fan of those myself, because when it comes to cleaning the spout, you know, you can't put a bottle brush down and give it a good clean. But it seems to be a modern design thing that they like to do. You know, obviously think that people who use teapots will want to use tea bags, and not that I've ever found that a tea bag gets stuck in a teapot spout anyway. But so that one was 50p. I found 2 pairs of mugs. They're kind of like a set of 4, but 2 pairs, very, very similar. And if I show you the handles, they're same sort of design on the handles, and they are by Royal Albert. The yellow ones are June, and the greeny colour ones are Charlotte. So I got 2 of the green, 2 of the yellow, or 2 of the June, 2 of the Charlotte, and they were 25p each. So sold as a set of 4. I should probably put them up for maybe £12, something like that. They're not bone china, they're fine porcelain, which is a thicker china. But they're pretty enough, you know, they're nice enough little mugs. And, you know, I decided myself last year, after we'd been through a spate of accidentally breaking mugs at home, that I'm not going to be buying them in Tesco's and Sainsbury's anymore, because when you're paying £5 a mug, it's incredibly expensive, and they do all get chipped and broken eventually. Whereas if I can pick them up at boot sales cheaply, then that's what I shall do for us. But obviously other people are thinking, well, I'm not going to pay that, I'll go on eBay or whatever and see if I can get something cheap. So another mug. I say so a lot, don't I? I don't know why I do. We all have these sort of link words, don't we? I was going to say Prince Charles, now King Charles says a lot, you know, as a kind of linking. And we all have our own words that we use to link. And it doesn't bother me in normal everyday speech, but when I'm making a video and watching it back, it's like, oh, don't keep saying that. I also say, so I thought. But I don't know what to replace that with. But anyway, this is a Marks and Spencer's, looks kind of Christmas gift wrap. Well, it does to me anyway. It's suggestive of Christmas, with a snowflake at the top and the Christmas trees and different bits and pieces, but good old Marks and Spencer's. It's a nice big size mug. Got that one for 50p. And then another one for 50p. This gorgeous pussycat mug with 2 lovely cartoon cats on it. And I don't know if you can see that. It's another one just on the inside. One on the handle there. And this is by Dunoon. It's Pussycats, a design by Jane Brookshaw. This particular one has sold recently on eBay at £12.50. So possible £12 profit on that one, obviously taking off eBay fees after and things, but it's a lovely big size mug for people who like great big drinks. Now, I don't bake pies very often, but invariably when I do, I think I wish I had a pie funnel. But whenever it comes to getting one, I mean, in the shops they're actually quite expensive. They're kind of up to £10 for one, and I think I'm not paying that because it's too much when I've always made pies without. You know, I can go without. But then I found this one that says hot pie, oh, piping hot pie. And it's one of these that sits inside the pie. You cover it over with pastry and then just have that bit coming out the top, and it allows the steam to come up through the centre. I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to do, whether it's supposed to keep the pastry crisper or cook it better, or... My nana used to use them. I don't recall my mum ever having one, but I do know that my nana did, which is why I think every time I make a pie I should get one. Well, anyway, now I have one. It's a porcelain one that I bought for £2. I don't mind £2, but I'm not paying £10 for something that's going to get used maybe twice a year at that. So, but it is something I've been looking for decades, literally. So I'm quite pleased with that. Another thing I've been meaning to get for a long, long time, because I've got a couple of friends who use them, and that's just a pouch on a neck strap that's just the right size for a mobile phone. So I don't have to carry a handbag or have a pocket. I can just pop it into a pouch. It's a kind of faux leather. It's from the AA, the Automobile Association. It's got a popper at the top and a little zip pocket that I don't know what I'd use the zip pocket for. A couple of coins maybe, who knows, but they always look so useful when my friends use them. You know, both my friends who use them are actually in wheelchairs, so they need their hands free to obviously operate the wheelchair. But it's one of those things I've been thinking for a long time about getting, but looked online, think I'm not paying that sort of price for it. And I think that one was, I think I paid £1.50 for it. But handy little thing that I've been meaning to get for myself for a long time, and now I have. I don't know how much I use it. You know, I'm not in a wheelchair. You know, I have been in a wheelchair for various periods of my life, but at the moment I'm not in one. I'm walking not without pain and not without falling over a lot, but I am actually walking at the moment, which is huge for me. For more than 20 years I could only walk with the aid of crutches. Since then I've had 2 knee replacements. And now, because of my brain injury, my balance is very, very poor. So I kind of walk a bit like a drunk. You know, I stagger about a bit and I fall over quite often. But I can live with that because I can walk. And that's, to me, is the important thing. That is more important than how I walk, is the fact that I do walk. But sometimes I use an electric scooter, and then it would be useful to have that sort of pouch thing. I found a lovely paperweight. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a circular bubble and then an elongated bubble in the middle. It kind of looks a bit like a dummy or a pacifier if you're American. The shape of the bubbles, it's that sort of thing on the inside, but lovely sort of purpley colour. It's not a named one, but it's quite nicely done, and that was £2. I saw these on a table and the box rather appealed to me. It just looked as though it was in such nice condition, and it's a collection of modern classics, obviously for children. I'm trying to open it now to show you, and it's got a magnetic seal and it wouldn't open, but I'm trying to open it so that I can give you a look. And it's a little set of children's books.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Alexa's been doing this all morning, where she just keeps speaking for no reason at all. I've got no idea why. And then this little box has a drawer at the bottom for whatever they want to use it for. It's obviously a children's set, but I just liked it. It was in nice condition. Probably not worth a great deal, but I thought I'd pick it up and maybe pop it on eBay in time for Christmas. And this is where I go terribly wrong, is I buy things thinking, oh, that'll do for somebody for Christmas, and then I don't list it in time. I'm just looking at myself in the camera here and thinking I'm actually in quite a lot of shade. I've got a light behind the camera that is Neil's light that he put up. We were filming our joint YouTube film earlier, but it's so bright I could barely look at the camera because it was in my eyes too much. So I just thought, well, I can do it without, but as you'll know from my last videos that I did, if I have the curtains open, it kind of bleaches the room out, and then the camera adjusts and you can see me, but everything else is all bleached out. So I thought, well, I'll draw the curtain. Came back here to actually sit down and talk to you, and now that side of my face looks as though it's in the dark, that side in the light. You're not missing much. They pretty much match. One side's the same as the other, imagine it. Then lastly, for this little mini haul, there was a box on the floor saying everything in the box free. And I spied this little case. And these little cases are useful. I like a useful case, a useful boxy thing. So I picked it up. As I picked it up, the guy said everything in the box is free. And I thought, well, the sign already says that. So I just said thank you and took it, but not knowing what was inside it. And it wasn't until I got home that I realised it's full of individual eyelash pieces. Now I don't wear false eyelashes, and certainly not individual pieces. And when I opened it up, I saw these little pots, and initially thought, oh, it's got spiders in or something, but they're all individual eyelashes. I don't know if you can see any of that. And there's lots and lots of different ones in. There's blacks and browns and blues, different lengths, different thicknesses, different colours. Oh, they might be purple. Yeah, so it's got a couple of pairs of tweezers that have got very, very, very fine points on them, obviously for doing individual eyelashes. I might hang on to those because they look really useful. There's a couple of eyelashy type brushy comb things, which you'd expect if you're doing that sort of thing. There's a little pot of the glue. No idea if there's any left in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, whether I'm going to put them all together as a bundle. I've got no idea what they're worth even. I'm sure they're probably not worth very much at all. I wish I knew somebody who did this sort of thing, and then I'd just give them to them. And then there's lots of these. It says on the packet there, shallow adhesive cups. So it's just little tiny plastic that I suppose you just squirt some of the adhesive in and then dip the eyelash into it. I'm assuming, I've got no real idea how this works. I assume you get one of the lashes in the tweezers, dip it into the little cup, and then glue it on. Well, that's my assumption anyway. But as I say, I picked it up for the box rather than the contents, so I've got no idea what I'm going to do with all this at the moment. That one you can see a bit clearer what's inside. And they're all the same brand, they're all Lash Perfect. As I say, you can, if I do sell them at all, then I'll just put them together as a bundle, and I've got no idea, I might just put them on auction starting at 99p and see if anybody wants them. But anyway, that's the entire haul for the weekend. Not very much at all. I'm kind of worried about getting too much stuff because, as I said in the last video, I'd got myself into a gridlock situation where I couldn't do anything because there was just too much to do. Too much to do, too much stuff, no space to do anything in. But as I said last time, I've tidied out the two big cupboards behind me, so anything that I'm keeping I now have a place to put away. I've got to go through all of my kitchen cupboards because where I've had various people here helping to look after me over various different illnesses and things, people get things out of your cupboards and then they don't go back where they should do. So my cupboards have all got mixed and muddled up, but I need to empty them all out so I can pull all the bits out that I don't want and give them to my son, because I'm sure some of those bits will save him a lot of money, save him going out and spending a fortune buying it all again when I've already got a load of things. And I've also got a plate that I really want to give him. It's kind of a family heirloom. It was my grandmother, it was part of a whole dinner set that was given to my grandmother and grandfather on their wedding. Now, my mum was the youngest of 4, and she was born in 1923. So I'm not really sure when my nan and granddad got married, but clearly it was must have been in sort of 1910ish, something around then. But there is just this one plate left from the entire set. It's been used and used and used. It went through my grandmother, then my mother had it, then it was given to me. And I don't want it anymore, but I can't bear to throw it out, if you know what I mean. It's kind of got sentimental value, but it's just a case of, why am I hanging on to it? You know, it's over 100 years old, but it holds no actual value. But I thought, if I give it to my son, then he can use it actually as a plate, and if it gets broken, then it's no big deal. I've also got my mum's little egg cup from when she was a little girl, so that was the 1920s. Again, no real value. It's only, you know, my grandparents weren't rich people, they were sort of lower middle class, so it's got no real value at all. But I want them to be used, and with the egg cup, I hope that I'm able to find somebody one day who will cherish it, instead of it just taking up space in my cupboard. Because I don't need the plate or the egg cup to remember my mother or my grandmother by. So they weren't terribly sentimentally valuable to either of them. So why I've hung on to them all these years, I don't know. They just need to move on now and be got rid of. But in terms of all the stuff that I need to be selling on eBay, I've got the things that I'm keeping, I'll put away in my cupboards, but in the boxes that are just everywhere in the lounge. I've got stuff that I've bought that I've thought, yes, I could sell on eBay. I've got stuff that has been mine, but as I've gone through various different cupboards and sorting out, thought, I don't want those anymore, I'll sell them on eBay. So I've put them in a box ready to sell. I've got loads of things that when my mum and dad died, I've brought back with me thinking, well, I'll put them on eBay and sell them, find them another home. So I've got loads and loads of those things. I've got things that my first husband, when he died, I've hung on to for 20 years now. He died in 2001. So I've accumulated all this stuff that emotionally I've let go of. They're all ready to go, but I just haven't got round to listing and selling it, which is again where the gridlock happens, because I've got all this stuff that I need to just get on and deal with. I've sorted out space in the shed to hold all of this stuff, so once it's listed it can go and sit on shelves in the shed and be out there. Neil keeps all of his stuff in the garage, so he's kind of got the garage. I bought the shed a year or two back. If you look back on my video list, there's several videos of us building the shed. It was a Keter shed it's a plastic one that you build yourself. So if you're at all interested, you can go back on my videos and have a look at the shed. But like I say, I've got this whole shed where I can keep all my bits and pieces. So I just need to get on and do that and clear things out, and then reclaim this room as family space. We have got the computers and an office area taking up a whole corner of it, but I guess that's modern life now, isn't it? I suppose we've all got computers and things stuck in corners, and we've got a big curved desk that goes into the corner, and we've now got a big office chair each, so Neil and I can sit next to each other, so if we're on a Zoom or whatever, then both of us can have a comfortable chair to sit in, because we've had situations where I was in the comfy chair and he was on an old wooden stool which wasn't at all comfy for him. Now I've just noticed, looking at the camera, that it's actually slightly tilted, so I hope that you're not sitting there with your head on the side watching this. And yeah, so that was all I wanted to do today, was just a very quick run through. Otherwise this was going to have to go into a box and save up until I got the next lot of things, which now we're not having the Sunday boot sales, might be quite a long time. So I just wanted it done so I can film it, upload it, and then it's dealt with, because the one that Neil and I do together, do all this as part of Neil and Jan Resellers, but that's mainly his stuff, and he does all the editing and uploading, and so that might not be on there for a month yet. So if you're watching this on my channel, here's a preview for you. Anyway, I hope you're all well. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Drop a comment down below and a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and I'm trying really hard with all my brain problems to actually have a YouTube channel that works, that people enjoy. So if you've got any ideas for me, then pop them down below, and I'll talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.